At 11 p.m., in full summit regalia, we awkwardly clambered out of the tent. The night was still.
Hey, you ready to go?
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
I'm almost ready to go. David looks about ready to go. You're about ready to go.
We began the steep ascent for the summit. The exit cracks, as they're called, lead you from Camp 3 through, over, and around cliffs. It was proving more difficult and required more scrambling than I had imagined. Patrick and Gelje were right in front of me the entire time. Gelje was setting a relatively blazing pace. Patrick was right behind him. Once we hit the northeast ridge, the wind picked up and the temperature plummeted. Moving your Jumar and safety carabiner from one fixed rope to the next was exhausting. We had been on the move now for about 3 hours. The cold, wind, and lack of oxygen were taking their toll.
Northeast Ridge.
Patrick's crampons were kicking out orange sparks as he was failing to gain purchase on the limestone face. Gelje's headlamp further up was my only indication of how steep this cliff actually was.
This is the beginning of the second step.
None of our headlamps revealed what I was hoping to see, the ladders. They are the telltale sign that we had made it to the second step. You've got to be kidding me, I thought. I realized we had only reached the first step, one of a series of 3 cliffs above 8,500 meters that you must surmount to reach the summit of Mount Everest. Despite my delusion, I managed to follow Gelje and Patrick to the famed second step. I finally saw the ladders and this time knew for certain where we were. At 8,610 meters, the second step is known as the crux of the Northeast Ridge Route. It is a 40-meter cliff on a ledge with a 3,000 vertical meter drop down the east face of Everest. I focused to stay calm as my metal crampons slipped on the aluminum rungs. An hour later, on the third step, I found Patrick and Gelje catching their own breaths. In front of us, the summit pyramid was fading into view. I glanced back over my shoulder to look down the third step. The view was stunning. Below the blackness of space, silhouetting the black fins of nearby peaks, the curve of the earth was outlined by a thin strip of bright orange and yellow light. With the breath of a new day, we headed for the summit. Although every step was a challenge, the rising sun warmed our bodies and spirits. Across the summit pyramid, the path dips below a false summit and exits onto the top of the extremely exposed Kangshung face, where we could see the shadow of Everest on the earth. The footholds here are barely the width of your boot. This steep rock ramp brought us to another false peak, the summit ridge, and the first view of the prayer flags, indicating the true summit. At approximately 8 a.m., Patrick McKnight, Gelje Sherpa, and I summited the highest mountain in the world.
Olivia, you and I made it.
Yeah!
About as large as a kitchen table, we had the summit to ourselves for 2 minutes before the climbers behind us joined in.
Oh yeah. All right. Nothing more to say.
The wind howled, further chilling the negative 40-degree temperature, and our flags were not cooperating. The world-changing speeches we prepared turned into a rushed, jumbled mess as we tried to stay warm. We said what we could.
cousins, counter cousins, nephews, nieces, all my friends around the world. Thank you guys. Have a little Woo! Thank you, Tia, and Marsha.
I did manage to get some blurry video of my brothers and my girlfriend on the summit. We took one last minute to enjoy where we were, looking down into Nepal, looking down into Tibet. For a brief moment, our far-off vision was realized. But dwelling on our accomplishment was not an option. We needed to start our descent.